Hello everyone and welcome to this new edition of Initiative Africa. Today we bring you on a journey to the heart of Rwanda, where the story of the widows of the genocide reminds us of human resilience in the face of adversity. 30 years after the tragedy, discover how these courageous women have managed to transform their pain and suffering into hope. But first, here's the summary of our program. Among the Congolese designers invited to the biggest fashion shows, she stands out for her remarkable choice to use raffia in her creations. Nukreche Pouna is our guest today.
We work a lot with natural materials, especially raffia, and also focus on transforming materials.
They are courageous and are not afraid to face the worst challenges. These Rwandan women have set up an association to rebuild their country.
I met the members of AVEGA and they helped me to accept myself and to carry on.
Rwanda is at the forefront of recycling and is constantly innovating. The proof with an entrepreneur making furniture and everyday objects with used tires while creating jobs.
Today, we do not throw away or burn old tires. Thanks to the innovation, we can do a lot of different things with them. It is a precious material.
We are heading for Rwanda, where women who survived the genocide but lost their husbands have come together in an association called AVEGA. As the country commemorates the 30th anniversary of the genocide, these widows are coming together to help the victims overcome their trauma and comfort them while finding solutions to meet their needs. In this way, they hope to contribute to the reconstruction of the country. Alexandra Vepierre reports from Kigali, Rwanda. Surrounded by a myriad of heads of state from every continent, the Rwandan government commemorated the 30th anniversary of the genocide perpetrated against the Tutsis on April 7th. Over the course of 3 months, 1 million people were killed, not counting the millions who were displaced, widowed, or orphaned. Created in the aftermath of the genocide perpetrated against the Tutsis, the Association of Genocide Widows, AVEGA, has contributed to the reconstruction of the country. Officially founded in January 1995, it was in August 1994 that the widows of Kigali began to meet to comfort each other, find ways to meet their needs and take care of orphans. The members, who are only 50 at the inception, have grown to 25,000 in just a few years.
When the soldiers stopped the genocide, everyone was traumatized. I didn't want to leave either. When the members of AVEGA, I met the members of AVEGA and they helped me to accept myself and to carry on. In Rwandan custom, the husband was the head of the family. Becoming the head without being prepared was hard for widows. We collected a lot of homeless children, even though we didn't have any shelter ourselves. We thought, we can't do this alone, otherwise we'll go crazy, so we started to form an association.
AVEGA began its work with the help from the government. Benefactors and their own funds, they traveled all over the country to help widows in other districts. They also helped to set up care centers and homes for the most destitute widows. Finally, they have given women a new goal to help them move forward.
We had to teach these widows to work, to create projects, and above all, to work together. Because working together is therapy. There was a project in the eastern province the women called Let's Laugh Again. Let's Smile Again. Because all they did was cry. But when they got together to work, it was therapy.
Today, AVEGA continues to heal the wounds of the genocide. The widows provide socio-economic, legal and medical assistance to the victims. AIDS is one of the major consequences of the genocide. During this period, nearly 250,000 women were raped, and according to studies carried out by AVEGA, 66% of these women were infected with HIV. AVEGA has built free clinics in Rwanda to help those affected. The clinic in Kigali sees around 40 patients a day.
They usually come to take their medication, but during the appointments, we check for mental health issues. If they have mental health problems, we refer them to the mental health service we have here. Additionally, they can come to get their medication, but if they are in a poor nutritional state, there is also nutritional aid for people who can find enough to eat.
Since it was founded, AVEGA has also done a great deal to promote mental health. With the aging of its members, the association has observed traumatic relapses in older people. A call center offers a free number for psychological help. Psychologists also organize discussion groups.
We organize groups. We call them therapeutic groups in the different districts. Today we have 16 therapeutic groups. Sometimes these groups are homogeneous, either people living with HIV or genocide survivors. Today we also have children who are descendants of the genocide. Genocide survivors who suffer from mental illnesses such as trauma, depression. We also have groups for these young children.
Today, AVEGA is inspiring its members to write down their memories as part of a shared remembrance. The Widows Association is working on a book for AVEGA's 30th anniversary, a work of recollection so that the courage of these women will never be forgotten. Born in Congo-Brazzaville, Nukreche Pouna has conquered the fashion world with her bold creations and her love of refinement. As a stylist and fashion designer, she has made a name for herself with her brand, Nukreche. Our journalist Briskin Hu went to meet her in Pointe-Noire.
Hello,
Nukreche Pouna. Thank you for joining us on Initiative Africa. You're a fashion designer of Congolese origin. When and how did this passion for fashion begin?
So, when and how did this passion for fashion begin? I still remember it was when I was 10. I discovered my talent, particularly for design and drawing. I remember that I had a friend who was drawing and I wanted to recreate the same one, but when I did, I created a model with an outfit. That's when my passion for fashion was born.
In 2016, you created your own clothing brand called Nukreche, which highlights raffia. Tell us a bit about your brand and why you chose raffia.
So first, what does Nukreche mean? Nukreche has two aspects. The first part comes from my name, Nukreche, because I wanted my identity to be behind the brand. The second part is about creating wealth. Why creating wealth? Because beyond financial wealth, I believe that Africa, especially the Congo, has a lot of talents and potential. My goal is to develop these talents. We have a lot of talent, a lot of potential, and the aim is to develop this potential and talent. Nukreche is a clothing brand that offers a range of original and elegant outfits, including ready-to-wear, custom-made, and haute couture. We work a lot with natural materials, especially raffia, and also focus on transforming materials.
Mon choix portait sur le raffia.
My choice of raffia stems from my love for Africa because I found that Africa is rich in so many resources.
What are your objectives with the Nukreche brand?
The objectives with Nukreche are first to establish ourselves in the national market and to have people buy Nukreche products.
Ça, c'est déjà le premier objectif. Le deuxième objectif,
the second objective is for Nukreche to become a recognized brand internationally.
C'est vrai, on a déjà eu à faire des événements internationaux.
We've already participated in international events, but we now aim to become a reference, a recognized Congolese brand made in the Congo.
Made in Congo, donc que ce soit vraiment une marque reconnue à l'international. Et troisièmement, pardon, c'est arriver à faire à nouveau.
The third objective is to make raffia, our cultural heritage, accepted and worn daily again, as we are gradually losing this heritage.
On perd ce patrimoine-là, on est en train de le perdre.
Quel est le défi?
What are the challenges that your clothing brand is facing?
Marque de vêtements.
Le défi auquel est confrontée
Like I said, the challenges facing our clothing brand is to be recognized and accepted locally. It's difficult because people find it easier to buy cheap products, or they'd rather take on a bigger brand than Nukreche, which is still in the development phase. So that's really the challenge facing Nukreche. It's difficult to promote it locally, especially as we use raffia.
You are also responsible for the jewelry brand Mademoiselle Pouna. What is so unique about it?
Mademoiselle Pouna, c'est simplement, encore une fois...
Mademoiselle Pouna is simply my name.
Comme c'est un nom ethnique, un nom de famille ethnique...
And because it's an ethnic name, it represents the spirit of the jewelry concept.
Du concept des bijoux. Voilà. Et donc... Ces bijoux sont faits à
the jewelry is made from natural materials, in particular, and as usual, raffia.
Le raffia. In
2020, Mademoiselle Pouna was born in the midst of COVID, when everyone was stuck at home. It was at the time that I made the first piece of jewelry, Mademoiselle Pouna, which I posted on my WhatsApp status. From there, customers wanted it straight away. I wonder, will they like it? Do they know it's raffia? I was scared, but I decided that I'll deliver anyway, so I delivered the first earring. And when the first customer saw the earring, she said, "Wow, that's beautiful." And I thought, okay, so we do accept raffia. And that's when it really took off, because the customers also liked it and asked me to make other models. They can look at model making. They could ask themselves, do I want something special with this material or with cowrie shells? And that's what pushed us to develop several products today, several collections. And so these collections are really the goal. And that is what brings out the uniqueness and authenticity of each woman.
Les bijoux, Mademoiselle Pouna.
Who is the target of Mademoiselle Pouna?
I'd like to say the target is everyone. But not really everyone. Why not everyone? Because these jewels are really designed for women, young women, in other words, bold women. Women who dare, because we know that these jewels are out of the ordinary. And so, as a result, these are women who take responsibility, women who aren't afraid to be bold. As I said, women who are confident, women who want originality. So these jewels are for women like that.
Welcome back to the second part of our show. Often referred to as the leader of the ecology in Africa because of its exemplary commitment in this field, Rwanda, a pioneer in Africa in banning plastic bags, is resolutely committed to preserving the environment and promoting recycling. The tire processing industry is attracting interest from entrepreneurs like Jean de Dieu Kamana, who runs a company that makes shoes and furniture from recycled tires. Watch this report by Themistokle Hazikimana from Kigali. Who would have imagined that a creative mind and dedication to the industry of home furnitures or flower vases could make a difference in how a country deals with pollutants? This is exactly what the Tsinda Business Group workshop does with all tires, an original and very useful processing company in Rwanda, where the waste recycling rate is about 12%.
Today, we do not throw away or burn old tires. Thanks to the innovation, we can do a lot of different things with them. It is a precious material. We collect and store them to sell them. Before, it was a real problem to find a way to get rid of it. But now we make a real business out of it like gold.
Welcome to the Tsinda Business Group workshop. Here tires are transformed into shoes, home and office furniture, flower vases, but also household items. The company was created by Kamana Jean de Dieu in 2017 and today employs more than 17 people. The idea came from the former profession of the founder, which was precisely to sell tires.
The idea of making different things from old tires came to me because I saw old tires everywhere, and I thought it was a material that could be exploited instead of burnt or thrown into the wild. Often people would visit me at work and like to sit on the old tires that I sold, and that's how I got the idea to make chairs and other things from this precious raw material.
Jean de Dieu Kamana's workshop can manufacture about 15 pairs of chairs in a week. The price for a pair of chairs is around $50 to $100, while other items like flower vases can cost $4 to $6 a piece.
These chairs are unique, from design to painting. Every customer finds what he's looking for here. Right now I'm painting chairs ordered by a military man, so these chairs will be painted based on colors from the military uniform as he wished for. Our colors are attractive, with traditional shapes. Thus our products are unique and highly appreciated by our customers.
This innovation has enabled some young people to escape unemployment, which seems to be constantly growing among a large part of the population.
I started this work when I was still a student. After school I came to work here, and this allowed me to fund the end of my schooling. It's the job that I like right now. I'm no longer a burden on my family. On the contrary, I help my brothers who are still at school.
The Kamana workshop wants to compete with imported furniture sold at a high price.
When I see all these people from modest backgrounds who cannot afford expensive furniture, I tell myself that it is my responsibility to provide them with materials that they can put in their households and that will allow them to live like the others. It encourages me to innovate even more, not to mention my contribution to the protection of the environment.
This initiative has enabled many middle-class citizens who, for example, cannot afford the expensive imported furniture that cost more than $2,000 to obtain comfortable lounge chairs. Their products can be spotted in many neighborhoods and homes, and they are making a difference.
Their products are artistic. There is a difference with other materials sold elsewhere in terms of resistance and comfort. So I was interested.
I was attracted by their colors. Once they are placed in the house or in the garden, it is really pleasant. In terms of design, it looks really nice. Moreover, the price is affordable for everyone. The Rwanda Environment Management Authority, the REMA, estimates that the daily volume of municipal solid waste is between 1,800 and 2,000 tons, and that only 12% of it is recycled. This initiative has saved the environment tons of used tires that would end up piled up in garages and would aggravate pollution. REMA is fighting hard to find a sustainable solution for this waste.
Actually, the management of old tires is as complicated as any other scattered solid waste. We are tackling it together with stakeholders, municipalities, and other friendly institutions we are working with. We are advocating for a proper handling and management of our waste, being solid waste, being tires, being any kind of waste that can be a source of air pollution once in contact with fire. We are trying to make sure they are cleaned up from the environment.
Thanks to the efforts of Sinda Business Group to reduce such waste in the country, the burning of waste tires, which is the main cause of emission of harmful air pollutants, has been significantly reduced. The Rwandan government has set a target to increase the recycling rate of non-organic solid waste to 40% by 2030. And we now delve into the world of our guest Nukreche Pouna, where she tells us about her inspirations, challenges and triumphs, from preserving Congolese cultural heritage to redefining African fashion standards. Her influence can be seen throughout her brand. Listen to her.
Depuis la création de...
Ever since the creation of your brands, you've taken part in several fashion shows in the Congo and abroad.
Congo et à l'international, lesquels
Which one stood out for you?
marqués.
I've taken part in a number of events, and three particular stand out for me. The first one was a gala dinner where I launched my first collection, and this event allowed me to really launch my brand. That event had a big impact on me because I was under a lot of pressure. People were asking me questions such as, do you wear what you make? You are telling us that you're going to launch the brand. When are you actually going to launch it? And then I remember, it was November 2016. That's when I decided to launch my collection. And when I launched the collection and presented it, I was just amazed to see the response. The second event was the one I did last year at Brazza Fashion Week. It was my first time in this event, and when I first went, I did not know what to think about. Should I even be here? But finally, on the day of the event, during the event, I was in the dressing room and all I could hear was noise. It started. And then I asked my colleagues who were there. I said, these people are making noise outside. They said, well, it's for your collection. People are making a lot of noise because of this collection. And that made a big impression on me, because after this collection, it was the first time I had really been celebrated that much. To say that the whole collection is really appreciated, that it's been celebrated. I saw people, celebrities who were there, running into the dressing rooms before the event was over to come and see me and place their order. The third event was last year in Gabon. It was a charity event. I was the youngest designer and the least well-known. And so you usually arrive in the middle of celebrities, the big names, and leave the big names in front. And they were surprised to see the work I could do that very evening.
Quel regard portez-vous sur
How do you perceive African fashion?
africaine?
La mode africaine. Déjà que moi je suis
African fashion. I'm already a real African pro. Let's put it like that. And what I can say is that a few years ago, we were more focused on Western fashion, on anything that could come from the West. In recent years, we've seen a bit of an African awakening in terms of fashion, and Africa, as I said earlier, which is overflowing with wealth, talent and potential, is now starting to wake up. In the fashion world, African designers are starting to make their mark on the Western market. African fashion is taking off. And above all, it's seeing the potential, seeing the creativity that African designers can have. Today, African fashion is waking up. You could say that it is gaining momentum. And I can tell you that this reassures us for tomorrow, because we feel that African fashion is really going to make its mark.
Vous avez participé à la dernière.
You took part in the latest edition of the Congolese fashion show, Le Carrousel International de la Mode. What do you remember about your participation?
De cette participation.
I personally was delighted to be able to see the new talent, especially the top performers. It has to be said that these are people who were chosen as winners a few years ago, but who haven't given up. These people have worked hard and have improved, and so to see the designers present their collection. After 2017, 2018, 2020, we thought, whoa, so no one's given up. We're off somewhere. It was a really good atmosphere because we had all these creators who came from abroad, these big names in the business.
What projects are you currently working on?
At the moment, we're working on 3 projects. The first project is the launch of the showroom, which should see the light by the end of the year. The second one is that we're working on new concepts for both clothes and jewelry. Because when you look at the market, it is true that a lot of people use raffia, but a lot of people don't necessarily buy it into the concept of raffia. What we're doing is really working on new concepts that can attract other people who haven't been reached so far. And the third project, we're doing everything we can to establish ourselves internationally. So we're mostly participating a little bit more in major events this year, particularly outside Africa. So those are the 3 projects we're currently working on.
Nukreche Pouna, thank you very much.
C'est moi.
That's it. Initiative Africa is over for today. You can find the interview with Nukreche Pouna as well as our programs on our website, africaonia.com. And of course, don't hesitate to follow us on our social networks and to share, like and comment with the hashtag Initiative Africa. And don't forget to tune in next week on the same time, same channel for Business Africa. Have a great week, and until next time, goodbye.